Thank you, thank you. Thank you for inviting me here. This is an amazing time in our business. I'd just like to get a sense of you and who you are. How many of you are in the advertising, media, entertainment related businesses? Great. And all right, now, of that, how many of you spend at least 50% of your time in digital media, digital-related media? And how many of you spend at least more than 50% of your time in what I call legacy media, the traditional media? Good. So we have a good balance. Well, my goal is to talk to you not so much about the future of advertising, but the present of advertising and the importance of mutual respect between the digital and the legacy media and the groups and the individuals who are leading the charge in both of those ways. I'm not sure which of you has the greatest challenge: social connectivity, social commerce, mobile, gaming. You've got an amazing wealth, a transformation from a simple, disconnected, one-way mass media economy to a complicated, social, interactive, relationship advertising and marketing economy. These are transformational times in every aspect of a marketer's, an agency's, a media company's, every aspect of your touch point with consumers, with agencies, with media companies, with your partners is changing, is transforming. And it's that transformation where you have to break down every touch point and rebuild it for a digital future that's truly challenging. These are really, really challenging times. And the consultants will tell you that you have to go digital, you have to go mobile, you have to go social. You have to engage. You have to look at ROI. You have to transform your business. But the consultants, the Bains, do we have any consultants here? Anyone from Bain, McKinsey, Boston Consulting Group? Good. They've done more to harm our business than any other group, maybe anyone other than John Wanamaker. So if you look at John Wanamaker, let me just get through this. John Wanamaker, I think he's been misunderstood. When John Wanamaker said more than 100 years ago that only half his advertising works, he wasn't complaining. He was just stating a fact that only half the advertising works. He doesn't know which half. And that's been an economic reality for more than 100 years in our business. And you know what? It's worked pretty well. It's worked pretty well for agencies. It's worked pretty well for media. It's worked pretty well for advertisers. They know, we know, that a small percentage of the media buy, of the advertising, is going to deliver the majority of the results. That's an economic reality, and it's also the most efficient way of doing mass media, of performing in a mass media environment. And that's what we've been in, a mass media, one-way, disconnected, commodity, supply-demand business. But digital radically changes that equation. Now, you were probably all thinking, how many of you think that we all need to go digital? How many of you think we really need to transform our businesses from legacy media, legacy advertising, legacy marketers to digital? Put your hands up. Okay, now, if you remember, your whole career, you've been hearing this story. Why didn't the railroad executives get into the airline business? Well, this is why. Because what would have happened if those airline executives had decided to take on the airline business and transform it? Transformations take about 30 years. They're not radical, they're not instant. They take about 30 years. The kind of transformation that we had from 1890 to 1920, from the agrarian age to the industrial age. A transformation when we went from the country to the city. The assembly line was created by Henry Ford, 1890, the oil refineries, the steel mills. These are transformational, true transformations. But the reality of transformation is that the first 15 of the 30 years is about innovation and invention. The second 15 years is about application, implementation, and monetization. The transformation we're in today, from the industrial information age to to the relationship age began in 1993 with the introduction of the Mosaic browser. We're 17 years into a 30-year transformational period, transformational process. Think of it, 1993. The kids who were born into the digital age are turning 18 this year. We're 4 years away from that generation beginning to take over our economy. So those of you who are feeling like maybe you're behind the game in digital, you have time. We have time. We have to embrace the realities of this transformational period. Now, digital, believe it or not, today represents only 8% of total marketing spend, only 8%. 10 years from now, or 8 years from now, in 2020, it'll represent about 40%. But that means that 60% of the marketer's budget will still be invested in relatively traditional media, in the way things are being done and have been done for decades. Going digital is like learning a new language, like learning a new culture. You can't just simply adapt to it. You can't just simply take it on. You've got to embrace it, understand it, do your best. But you've got time if you're in the legacy media. And if you're in the digital media, you're just beginning to see the implementation, activation of the technologies that have been developed over the last 15 years. Now, who here considers yourself an agent of change? Agents of change. Well, you're reading all the right bestsellers and you're listening to all the consultants, but I also hope you'll get your resume together. Agents of change have a pretty short lifespan in our economy. Now, I believe in change. I embrace change. I've been writing about and supporting change for 3 decades, but what I've figured out is you shouldn't be an agent of change. You should be an agent of stability. Just change the semantics of what you do, because change means chaos. Change means disruption. What Wall Street wants, what corporate executives want, what your management teams want is stability. And by embracing the change that's happening all around your business and helping to bring stability by embracing it, understanding, learning about it, implementing, applying it within your organization, you're actually bringing stability to your organization, not change. So every one of you who's a change agent, I want you to go home tonight and I want you to think about how you change your mantra from change to stability. It's about organizational security, it's about organizational maintenance, and it's about staying stable and non-chaotic in a chaotic environment. Now, how about integration? Integration is good, right? We want to integrate digital, we want to integrate across agency models. Wrong. I hate digital. I take that back. I hate integration. I love digital. Although, based on some of the things I'm saying, you might not believe that. Integration creates chaos. It creates disorder. It brings together disparate teams with disparate beliefs, disparate goals. I believe in creating pockets of energy. Energizing pockets, teams, collaborative teams, all dedicated to the same goals, the same ends within organizations. So rather than integrating, pull from different organizations and create pockets of energy dedicated to one set of goals, measurable success within those goals. Nothing's more difficult than the creation of a new order of things. And you cannot afford to have only lukewarm supporters participating in the process of achieving those goals. Now, ROI. What about ROI? Finally, ROI, return on investment. That's good too. It's logical, right? Well, this happens to be one area where I absolutely agree. But what makes no sense is that the media and advertising business continues to fund, underwrite, support, and embrace outdated forms of research that are 100 years old in their fundamental business models and do nothing to advance our needs and our interests. Research in our business has become a form of garbage, barely useful for performing the most basic tasks that we need performed. There are all types of new research tools, services, companies there available to you to use. And I believe the single most important thing we can do is embrace the new research tools and move quickly from the outdated tools as we move through this transformational process. Marketers are shifting from a mass, disconnected, one-way media society to a socially focused marketing business. They're creating their own content for websites. Procter & Gamble has over 1,000 sites and apps out there. We are moving from a disconnected society to a connected society, but while we're doing that, we're embracing the realities of our past. We're recognizing that one group of you is operating in this new interconnected world, and one group of you needs to transform your business models into that new business world. But the reality is, you have 10, 15, 20, 25 years during which that process will be achieved. That process, transformation, is a process. So if you're 25, you're focused on digital, learn about the legacy media, learn about the traditions, understand the business from its foundation. And if you're 55, learn about the digital, be involved, but your career is not going to end tomorrow if you're not digital. Mutual respect between digital and legacy media, digital and legacy marketing. Mutual respect for each other, for the processes, for the transformation. Thank you for inviting me here today.